So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. Instead of a 3rd and 4, now they have to manage a 3rd and 9 after the delay of game. Lawrence. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it.
Well, it's football 101 because when you come in as the favorite team, you obviously don't want to hand any kind of advantage to an opponent ready for an upset. Now, you'll be lucky to only be down 3-zip the next time you get the ball back because you've just handed them a dose of confidence to start this game.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Well, this defense for the Jags, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They go play action now. Lawrence steps away to his left. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a first down.
He was certainly quick to atone for his early game interception. Instead of making another mistake forcing something, he reset himself and found a lane to pick up the first down.
On the stick.
On play action, Lawrence. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Lawrence. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Lawrence will throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
The start of this game has me doing flashbacks and remembering when I was playing and seeing a similar start and seeing the head coach actually take a timeout and gather the whole team around him and tell him everybody to get it together. Let's get some focus going here because maybe he just sensed that maybe the whole team wasn't ready to play.
Yeah, well, they've gone interception, now fumble. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. The Ravens at 3-5, 2 games under 500. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
I can't believe they even let you play. SOS. That's quick, man.
They go play action now. Jackson. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
Play action. Now Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. One more time with Etienne. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Travis Etienne, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jaguars are an extra point away from drawing level. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start. Is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because, to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on 1st down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Jackson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. From the 41, Lawrence. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll run with Etienne. And trying to shake free, but Etienne cannot. The defense will stop him short. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
From the 39, Jackson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
But these are the situations that really test the defense, those sudden changes. They're already inside field goal range to start the possession. Their goal now, keep it to a long kick, if indeed they end up trying one.
2nd and 10 now, it's Lawrence. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. They go play action with Jackson. And this is into the hands of Andrews downfield. And he will be taken down, but a big play there as it comes just as we reach the 2-minute warning. It's a gain of 35. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson escaping the pressure right. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket, only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Throwing right in that it's complete. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left. Here's Lawrence to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the Jaguars are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. And they'll run with ETN. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down. And this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
They'll try to run with ETN. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Lawrence. Flushed out right. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jaguars have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 14-7. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. This is taken just shy of the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. And my goodness, another interception. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. That one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked up that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, well, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Now, the offense, they had really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker, partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped him.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Lawrence hit him, the ball is free. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lawrence forced out to his left. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. And he whips that one incomplete there. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And this one is incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away this timing.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Jackson from the shotgun. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. They've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
Dobbins trying the left side. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Play action. It's Jackson. They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. A lot of work to get away and outside of the pocket, but no actual yardage there on the catch. It's second down. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like two well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, hey, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play.
Now the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on third down. Jackson rolling to his right. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
And the end result of that play, you're almost not sure what you really want, because when he gets outside of the pocket, you actually hold your breath because you think he's going to run for big yardage. But when he chose to pull it down and throw it, and a play was made to knock it away, that's a pretty good end result. Not one you expected when the play began.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a one-touchdown game.
Well, he might be the best kicker the game's ever seen. And we've seen him hit from 66, which is the all-time record. But anything 60-plus, that's a very low percentage kick. Don't tell him he doesn't believe it. But this one winds up no good.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
They go play action with Lawrence. They'll roll him out right. He'll get this off DTN. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Off play action. Lawrence sliding out of the pocket. Airs it out toward the corner of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
They've been trying and trying, but they haven't sacked him yet. He's been able to get away and make plays. Tried to make another one downfield right there, but to no avail. They'll have to keep up the pursuit, though, and not let him get hot.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. There's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 20-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Lawrence's throw here taken in by Ingram. And the Jags are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's ETN. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Once more, Etienne. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Travis Etienne with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jags are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. A try here for the extra point. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee. Maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. A give, Dobbins trying the right side. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up 3rd down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Lawrence on first down. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again, Lawrence. And he comes back with one complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 4th down. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And they're looking at 4th down now in this tie ball game. Going for it, here's Etienne. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Add that one to the good run tally right there. He's been strong throughout this game, and there's no reason to suggest he's going to slow down in the 4th quarter at all. And that's exactly what they need him to do. Keep churning out first downs.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. I see you nodding your head up and down. That's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
Throwing now, Lawrence. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sidelines?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
A handoff running left is Dobbins. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 1:06 left to go in the game. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Dobbins. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th. If there was a time to break off a nice run like that, it was right here to grab the lead in the 4th.
And it's just so much stress on a defense in that situation because you're looking at the clock. What are we guarding against? What's the first thing, right? The strike to the end zone, throwing the ball. Instead, they come back and hit him with a run. Block it well, and how about the physical run he made? Terrific job finding his way to the end zone to give him the lead.
Tucker with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Lawrence. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Jamel Dean. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Baltimore, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.